Somebody out there is quietly locking up houses they don't even own yet. And the crazy part is, the seller is happy about it. This is the lease option play. And if you've never heard of it, buckle up, because it might be the most underrated tool in the whole real estate toolbox. Here's what's actually happening under the hood. A lease option is a two-part agreement where you lease a property for a set period while holding the exclusive right to purchase it later at a pre-negotiated price. Think of it like a layaway plan for houses, except you get to live in it or rent it out while you're still deciding. Now, the golden question everybody's asking is whether you can actually get that purchase price below market value. And the honest answer is yes, but only if you understand what the seller is really selling. They're not just selling a house. They're selling relief, certainty, and time. And that psychological cocktail is worth real money to the right person. The sellers who say yes to these deals are usually dealing with something. Maybe a vacant property, bleeding carrying costs, a divorce, a relocation, or just landlord fatigue after one too many 3 a.m. Maintenance calls. You're not taking advantage of them. You're offering a solution that most real estate agents never even put on the table. Here's where the optimism of the early days meets the cold shower of reality though. Most investors hear lease option and imagine some magical loophole machine printing discounted equity with zero resistance. The truth is, the pitch requires skill, empathy, and the ability to have a very specific kind of uncomfortable conversation with a tired homeowner. The psychological weight on both sides of this deal is real. The seller is being asked to trust a stranger with their most valuable asset, and the buyer is committing to a future purchase based on today's assumptions about tomorrow's market. The fear of getting it wrong keeps a lot of would-be investors frozen right at the starting line, scrolling forums, watching videos, never actually dialing the phone. Historically speaking, creative financing strategies like lease options tend to surge in popularity whenever traditional lending tightens up, which tells you something important about the cyclical nature of real estate innovation. Back in the early 1980s, when mortgage rates hit nearly 20%, creative deal structures weren't trendy. They were survival tactics. The biggest misconception floating around is that a lease option is some kind of legal gray area or a predatory scheme dressed up in polite language. In reality, it's a well-established contractual structure with decades of legal precedent, used every single day by sophisticated investors and everyday homeowners alike. The practical playbook goes something like this. You find a motivated seller, ideally one with equity in a problem. You offer them reliable monthly income plus a future sale price that removes all their headaches. And you build in enough spread between the option price and actual market value to make the numbers work. Discipline here means you walk away from deals where the spread isn't there, no matter how much you love the neighborhood. Position sizing matters enormously in this game because the option deposit you put down is real money at risk if you don't execute or if the market moves against you. Treat every lease option like a calculated bet with a defined downside, not a lottery ticket, and your batting average will be the thing that builds your portfolio over time. The irony nobody talks about is that the sellers who benefit most from lease options are often the same ones who never call an investor directly, because the word investor triggers a defensive posture. But frame the same conversation around stability, certainty, and solving their specific pain point. And suddenly, the door swings wide open. Process beats conviction every single time in this business, meaning the investor who sends out 50 letters a month with disciplined follow-up will outperform the genius who found one great deal but has no system to find the next one. Patience isn't passive here. It's an active, strategic, almost boring commitment to showing up consistently when everyone else has moved on to the next shiny object. At the end of the day, the lease option is really a lesson in perspective, because the same house with the same seller on the same street looks completely different depending on what lens you're using to evaluate the opportunity. Discipline, sizing, and consistency aren't just investing advice. They're a philosophy for navigating any market, in any cycle, under any conditions. And honestly, if rates stay high and inventory stays tight, the lease option becomes an even more powerful tool, not a workaround, but a feature of a well-rounded investing strategy. Being comfortable with multiple outcomes isn't weakness. It's the mark of someone who's built a process that works regardless of which way the wind blows. If any of this resonated and you're ready to take your first step, whether that's real estate investing, connecting with a reliable contractor, or finding the right lender, check out our links in the description below and let's get you moving.